Hello everyone. This is lesson 19. It's about Jacob and about how we obtained the name Israelite. Abraham had a son, Isaac. Isaac had two sons, one of whom was Jacob. Jacob inherited the right to pass on the spirit of Abraham that came down through Isaac. One day, Jacob was tested. He had to give up his Isaac, his most precious false self. It's a very dramatic passage. Let me read it to you. One night, Jacob was alone. A man appeared and struggled with Jacob until the breaking of the day. That man, by the way, is Spirit, or Spirit's angel, whatever you want, however you want to look at it. But what we're talking about is Spirit appearing in the darkest. When it says one night Jacob was alone, Jacob was in darkness. He wasn't in light. He was struggling maybe with depression, struggling with an issue that he couldn't resolve. And a man appeared and struggled with Jacob until the breaking of the day. Then the man said, "Let me go, for the day breaks." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." The man asked him, "What is your name?" He answered, "Jacob." Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have the power of the gods and have overcome your humanity." Let's take this slowly. So Jacob is struggling in the middle of the night with giving up a false self. The angel said, "Let me go, for the day breaks." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." In other words, Spirit, I will not let you go. I will continue to seek and to find a way of giving up my false self. And that's when you will bless me. Then the man repeated, "Let me go, for the day breaks." But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go unless you bless me. I want to be free from the burden of this problem." The man asked him, "What is your name?" He answered, "Jacob." Then the man said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel." That's the first time we hear the word Israel in the Bible. "Because you have the power of the gods and you have overcome your humanity." Jacob struggled all night, and he wouldn't let up until he was free of a false self. As a result, he was called Israel. The word Israel means one who struggles with spirit. So anyone who is an Israelite is a person who struggles with spirit to overcome himself, his humanity, to become more of himself at a higher level of truth and love. What I'd like you to do is pretend that, like Jacob, you must struggle between two very important options that figuratively boil down to going east or west. To decide, you go to your favorite beautiful place where you can communicate in stillness with Spirit. There, you suspend all your past beliefs and become open to being inspired. After some time, you sense strongly, to be my true self, I need to go east. There you will have a more fulfilled life and be the greatest wise love benefit to humanity. Then you leave your beautiful place and go to your family and ask for their advice about whether to go east or west. They tell you that if you go east, you will betray the family values and traditions. As a result, they will be embarrassed in the community. Further, your spouse tells you that you can expect a divorce should you go east. So because you wonder if you are right, if they are right, You go to your boss at work who seems to possess sound judgment. She listens to you and then tells you that unless you go west, she will fire you. Confused, you ask leading clergy and theologians in many religions, who in turn consult their scriptures and the options of past commentators. They tell you that unless you go west, you will be a grave sinner. Exasperated, you consult with leading philosophers and psychologists. After they read the relevant research and the writings of others going back thousands of years, they tell you that dire consequences will happen to you and others if you go east. Because you continue to feel confused, you go back to your beautiful, peaceful place. Become very still and invite Paul the Apostle to appear to you. In a short time he does. You then explain your problem and seek his advice. He tells you that if you go east, you will demonstrate that you do not believe in Jesus' redemption of humankind on the cross, in his resurrection, and his coming again for the final judgment. Thus, if you go east, you will not be saved. And so you go to Spirit again. Again, Spirit shows you clearly that you should go east. In more confusion, you become still and invite John the Evangelist to talk to you. Sure enough, he quickly appears. After you explain the situation, he tells you that if you go west, you will demonstrate that you do not believe in the person of Jesus, thus you will go to hell. Frustrated, you decide to consult the Old Testament. Yes, indeed, the Torah tells you that in your circumstances, you should go west. Then you think, maybe my solution is not in the Bible. So you ask Muhammad to appear to you. He does. You explain your problem and he says, look, if you read the Quran, you will notice that I clearly say that you will be a non-believer and attack Allah if you go east. Exasperated, you ask Eve, Abraham, Buddha, and Jesus to appear to you. They come to you as one group. You again explain to them your situation. They listen, and then they smile and they disappear. Now, something does not feel right. So in painful confusion, you go back to your beautiful mountain place and communicate again with Spirit. After a half hour, you are shown in a compelling vision why you need to go east to be yourself as a unique gift to the world. It is clear to you that only by going east can you unconditionally wise love all. That is certainly an exaggeration, but I wanted to show you the difficulty of making choices sometimes with Spirit. To be yourself, you need to go east. Now, what I'd like to do is ask you, decide, are you going to go east? If this comes up in your life, are you going to go east or are you going to go west? Now let me give you an answer. If you choose to go east, you become an Israelite. You make everything unimportant except following Spirit. If you go west, you become a dogmaite. You make the opinions of others more important than listening to yourself in your core with oneness with Spirit. Dogmatites, they live from their own or another's dogmas. Israelites, they live from their own experience. Dogmatites indoctrinates others with their own or other official answers. Israelites empower others to discover their own answers. Dogmatites steadfastly live their former beliefs. Israelites continually suspend former beliefs to re-experience themselves, others, and the world, and then create new tentative beliefs. Okay? Here's some other differences between dogmaites and Israelites. Dogmaites find security in their beliefs. Israelites find their security in the process of personally growing in wise love. Dogmaites dream of a time when all conflicts A dogmaite dreams of a time when all conflicts end because everyone lives his dogmas exactly the way he does. An Israelite dreams of a time when all conflicts end because everyone empowers everyone else to be true to themselves. Dogmaites live in the past and the future. Israelites live in the present. Those are some of the differences between dogmaites and Israelites. Ultimately, in every moment, we're choosing to be one or the other. It's very tempting to try to be both. Here's what Jesus says about that. Jesus said, "In no way can a man climb onto horses too, and he stretch bows too. In no way can a servant serve lords too, or he will honor the one, and the other one he will despise." So as we look at this image on the side, we see that Israelites are single at the top with few, if any, false selves. Dogmaites at the bottom of the pyramid have multiple false selves. And Jesus is saying, in no way can a man climb onto horses too. In no way can one be a dogmaite and an Israelite. And in no way can a servant serve lords too. In no way can a person be an Israelite or a dogmaite. Or he'll honor the one and the other one he will despise. That's core to Jesus' teachings. Now in transition to the next lesson, let me just briefly explain what happened to Jacob after he struggled with the angel. He became more and more an Israelite. He had 12 sons. Of the 12, only one chose to be an Israelite. That was his son Joseph. The 11 brothers of Joseph became very jealous because Jacob, of course, favored Joseph. One day, the 11 brothers sold Joseph to traders who took him to Egypt. In Egypt, Joseph became an advisor to the Pharaoh. While he was as an advisor, a famine occurred in Israel where Jacob lived. Jacob took his 11 sons and they went to Egypt to obtain food. They met with Joseph. Joseph forgave his 11 brothers, and Jacob and the 11 brothers, as well as Joseph, remained in Egypt. Each of the brothers became the head of a tribe. That is how the 12 tribes of Israel came into existence in Egypt. That is the end of lesson 19. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, I wish you'd click on like below. Feel free to ask any questions, put any comments. I will answer them. I look forward to being with you in the next lesson. Thank you and have a good day.